Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Allison. Today we are talking about goals, what your goals are, what my goals are for my patients, because I had someone ask me this question for the first time, and I thought it was a beautiful question where she said, "What are your goals for your patients?" And as I thought about it, my number one answer is always, well, what are your goals? My goals are always going to be a little bit different, but the same for whatever your goals are. So, most people will have a goal of either losing weight, improving their energy, sleeping better, getting their hormones under control, figuring out what's going on with either their thyroid or their adrenals. Are there any other issues that we need to look at? And I always want to make sure that my patients' goals are really reasonable, right? They're healthy and they're achievable. So if someone says in the first month, I want to lose 50 pounds, we're going to have a very different conversation, right? I want them to have goals that are healthy. Losing 50 pounds in 1 month, not very healthy, right? It takes time. Or I want my hormones, my next period is going to be the best period I've ever had. Well, that's not really achievable or reasonable either, right? Because it takes at least 3 months to reset the brain, the hypothalamus, the pituitary. It takes time to reset the ovaries as well. So there's a lot of work to be done. There's no magic pill. There's no magic process or jumpstart, restart. It takes time. And I know it's frustrating. I'm going through it myself, as you probably know. So when we talk about goals, and we break them down. And so month one, okay, well, let's really focus on inflammation or really figuring out what to eat. Or sometimes if we go through, the first month and I'm like, okay, we really need to do some more serious testing. Sometimes let's just get these tests done is our biggest goal and figure out what's going on. And that's a great goal too. So you can have really big goals, and then what we do is we break them down into smaller goals. Like, if we want to lose weight or we want to fix our hormones, let's start with tracking food. Let's start with tracking all of your symptoms. If you want to fix your hormones and you're not on birth control, start taking your morning temperature every morning that with a basal thermometer and tracking it either on an app, or there's so many free charts out there that you can use, so many free apps as well. And what that'll do is help us understand, where's your temperature at? When are you ovulating? Exactly what day are you ovulating? How is your progesterone doing? Is there a thyroid issue that's being missed on the blood work because it's autoimmune or something else is going on, right? So we have so many options. We just need to take the time and do our due diligence, do our work to figure out what's going on. And then whenever I meet with a new patient for that initial consultation, I always share what my goals are. And they tend to be a little bit more broad, rather than say, I want you to, I've never said this, but I want you to lose 10 pounds. That's the first one that came up to mind. No, that's not really a goal I've ever said to somebody. More like, how do we manage your inflammation this month? How do we get your blood sugar stabilized so that way you're not having this roller coaster of blood sugar all day long, where your adrenals aren't on a roller coaster all day long, and you can start improving how you sleep because that's blood sugar. You can improve your energy in the afternoons because that is blood sugar, that is food. You can improve how you feel when you wake up because, again, when we manage those things that seem really simple and just way too easy, it really affects the rest of the body. And a lot of times I do hear like, well, shouldn't I be doing more? Shouldn't I cut out this? Shouldn't I be doing this? Shouldn't I? People come with this huge list of expectations and things that they want to change. I don't really want you to change a million things or everything on day one because, one, it's not sustainable, right? I give you like 3 days, maybe a week, and then you're like, no, screw it, I'm going back. Like, I'm going to reintroduce all these things again. And if you can do it, then more power to you, right? Like, if you're like, I'm going to quit soda and ice cream every night, cold turkey, awesome, go for it. Like, let's do it together. But really, the next conversation I have too is like, let's just see where you're at. Can you track your food and your symptoms for this week? And then we can see where you are, because your macros might be perfect, or we might need to just change or tweak a couple things. The biggest thing with tracking that I find is most people are allergic, or they don't realize that they're eating the same thing every day. They say, oh, my stomach hurts so bad every day at 10. And then I look at their food diaries, or we talk about what they're eating and they're tracking, and they don't realize that those protein shakes that they've been having every morning, while they're great and healthy in quotation marks, they also have something that they might be sensitive to, like dates or soy or almonds or eggs or gluten, or there's like a whole list, right? And it just triggers them. And it might not have been found with a really simple blood food sensitivity test, because those don't find everything. So it's really a process of figuring out your goal and then doing the work to figure out, why is your body not capable of meeting that goal in this moment, whether it's food or a hormone issue or inflammation, or the system's just not working, or malnutrition is really, really common, especially in mamas who have babies. Because we give all of our nutrition from our body to our babies, and then we lose it all, and we lose our hair, and we don't realize that our bodies haven't made up for what we've lost yet. And sometimes the goals that you have to be pushed back by a month or two, sometimes longer, based off of what's going on, how severe your symptoms are, how sick that you're feeling, because we need to do that groundwork first. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We are allowed to experiment. We are allowed to play with different supplements, play with different foods, play with different sleeping schedules. Some people, I say, you need like 3 more hours of sleep. Some people, I have said, you need less sleep. You're sleeping way too much. It's not good for your body type, your blood type, and your hormones, based off of what's going on specifically with them. So try setting your alarm an hour earlier or an hour later. Like, there's so many things to play with. And that when you have these goals, it's awesome to have them and work with them, but it's also really good to know that it's going to take some time. And on the flip side of that, while we have these reasonable, healthy, achievable goals, I also like to talk to people about their mental, emotional, spiritual goals as well, because it's not just what numbers is your body throwing out at you, like blood work or hormones, things like that. It's, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel in your body? Where's your self-confidence at? Where's your self-esteem at? Are you just getting through the day because you're so stressed out? Or are you wanting to really make things different and feel different in your body and grow that self-confidence and learn to empower yourself so you can do the things you need to do to take care of yourself and make those changes? And that is also really important too. So you can have your number goals, but what are your emotional, your mental goals, your spiritual goals, and how are you going to work to achieve them? And with all of this, I'm going to be brutally honest. I think I've said this before, that so many people say to me, well, if you do a good job, Dr. Alison, I'll come back, or I'll refer you. If you do good, if your plan works. And I can't do these things for you. I love you. I want you to succeed. If I could cook and clean and eat for you and eat healthy and eat right and exercise for you, I wouldn't. Wouldn't it be easier if we could have somebody else do that for us? But I feel like I have to say this again, because it happened so many times over the past few days. Just the past 4 days, I've been hearing this, and I have to keep saying, I can't wake up and eat breakfast for you. You have to do this. You have to do the work. So if you have these goals, you have to be prepared to make the changes. Prep yourself for the changes. Prep your body, prep your mind, and focus on what are you going to do. And if that's overwhelming to you, you're like, oh, I don't want to do the work. Well, or do you want change or do you not want change? Because change requires work. It requires effort. It requires dedication. And I know that sucks when you don't feel good, which is why we do this together. And are you willing to put in the time? Are you willing to look 3, 6, 9, 12 months out and say, all right, here's the plan. It might take that many months, but I'm going to keep working the plan. I'm going to keep playing with different things and experimenting, because I want to reach these goals. And these goals aren't going to happen overnight. But if I do this, this, and this, or we do that, and then we have to do some more testing, and wow, I'm really figuring out my body. Wow, I didn't know this was going on. We get rid of toxins or mold or infections, then we have something to do. We have something to work with, and that's when you're going to meet your goals. So be dedicated to yourself, set your goals. Remember that you're the only one who can make the change. I can empower you with tools and information. You've got this. I'm here to answer your questions, here to love on you and support you along the way. So thank you for tuning in. And if you want to, in the comments, wherever you're watching this, let me know what your goals are, what you're looking for, how are you meeting your goals, where are you struggling at? Share with me what goals in your health mean to you. Is it numbers, like blood work, scale, things like that, or is it how you feel? So I hear my family coming in now, so I will see you guys later. Thanks and have a great day.